Hare Krishna. So here I have taken about little less than 1 kg of Arbi, Colcasia. In our area in Andhra, we also call this chamadumpa or chamagadda. So we're going to wash it nicely and give it a boil for about 4 to 5 whistles. And no need to add salt or something. We're just going to cook it normally. So here, as you can see, I have put it on normal heat on the low burner, and we're just going to give it a few whistles and then check. Here we have peeled the arbi, and you can see that I haven't actually really cooked it well. That's because I'm going to fry it. So if you boil it really well and then you're going to fry it, it's going to mash, which is something I don't want. So I have just given it enough whistles so that I can remove the skin. And the remaining cooking we are going to do with the oil and the spices. Here I have taken half an inch of grated ginger, around 2 chilies. You can reduce the heat, and some curry leaves. In the pan I've heated about 2 to 3 tablespoons of oil. Now when you're cooking prasadam, it's very important to use pure oil or cold pressed oils. Here I have half a teaspoon of black mustard, half a teaspoon of jeera seeds, cumin seeds, and 2 dry red chilies. We're going to add this into our oil. Once the oil is hot, you can see it's crackling really well. Add about 1/4 teaspoon of hing. Stir it well for a couple of seconds. And now that our ginger and chilies and curry leaves are sauteed, we are going to add in our arbi. Stir them well. Now at this point, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add about a teaspoon of salt. This will help the arbi to cook faster, and also it will help to get a nice golden layer to the skin of the arbi, which is what we are looking for. As you can see, some of the arbi has already started changing color, and this is what we are looking for, but it's going to take a couple of minutes more. Don't worry, by the time the arbi is completely cooked, the curry is cooked, we are going to see that each and every piece of the arbi will be soft enough. So you don't need to worry about that. We are now progressing. It's really cooked halfway through. Here I am taking half a teaspoon of haldi powder, turmeric, half a teaspoon of red chili powder. This is actually Kashmiri chili because we don't really eat that hot. And 2 teaspoons or 1 tablespoon of coriander. Stir it well with the arbi so that all the arbi gets coated with the dry spices. You can see it's really frying really well. And what we are going to do now is that as it's cooking, we are just going to put some buttermilk into it. Now this is pure buttermilk, which we also call as charge or mattha. This is the buttermilk that comes out after we make butter from curd or malai. Now this is the one I have used when I made butter out of curd, so it's pure buttermilk actually. And so we're just covering it and cooking it for a few minutes. We're removing the lid, and I'll just add about half a teaspoon of garam masala, which is totally optional, but it adds an extra flavor to our curry. Stir it well. You can see that it's almost actually the buttermilk is making the gravy really thick, so we don't need to add any other substances. We're going to cover it up again and cook it for about 5 minutes. You can see that our curry is already looking really good. It's releasing the oil, that means all the spices and the curry is really cooked well. So this is almost done now. We'll just cook it for a couple of minutes more, and that's it. You can actually add more buttermilk into it if you're looking for a gravy, like really thin gravy. But since we're eating it with already rice and all that, so I'm going to keep it on the thick side, but it's totally up to you. And here, this is the final look of our dish. I hope you like this recipe. Kindly comment.